We come to you tonight with one thing to say. Just one. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you really, really serious? Or are you really, really, really pretending? That's the only question that there is to be shared, and we'll talk about it a bit. And we talk about it with this intensity because it has to be this intense in you. You must, we know Elohim doesn't like to use words like that. We don't care. You must really shit or get off the pot. You must. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because there is no more time for flexibility. There is no more time for maybe, maybe not. There's no more time for that. You have come into a moment where the doorway is open and seriousness moves you through the doorway. Seriousness takes you into the next place. Now, what do we mean by seriousness? Attention to that which is ready to be attended to, that being the moment, that being releasing habit, that being all the things that Elohim has taught you for 7 years. Now is the moment to seriously engage, to wrap yourself into this being what I do. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm a business person. Whatever else that you describe yourself as is a component of I'm serious about my spiritual journey. Now, most of you wouldn't be here if you didn't already believe that you were serious about your spiritual journey. And most of you wouldn't be here if you weren't already paying a great deal of attention to your spiritual journey. And most of you wouldn't be here unless it really was a big deal for you. However, what we need you to know is that it isn't something that you do when you're triggered. It isn't something you do when you can't figure out how to pay your bills. It isn't something you do when you think you need a parking space. It is something you are. Up until this time, it's been doing spirituality. But it must be being spirituality from now on. You are at the cusp. The encouragement, the tools, the instruction, the helpfulness, the kicking your asses, all those things have occurred. We've said, you're already ready and now's the time, and we've tried and tried and tried with Elohim's assistance to come up with all kinds of ways of saying, get it together. But we really, really, really need you to be serious now. And it really, really is that each moment you're experiencing breathing, you are experiencing spirituality. And what we mean by that is that each moment you breathe is a moment you have an opportunity to move through transformation. If you were training for some kind of a sporting event, when the sporting event is 1 year away, perhaps you train 2 or 3 times a week. And as the sporting event is 6 months away, perhaps you start training 3, 4, 5 days a week. And as the sporting event gets very, very close, perhaps you don't train in the same way you used to train, but it never really leaves your mind that the opportunity for experience is coming. Yes? So here you are. Your sporting event is now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now again. And in each of those moments, there is a chance for you to be serious about that moment. And the requirement is so simple. It is, what is true now? What is true now? What is true now? Consistently requesting that you have that piece of information at the tip of your tongue, at the forefront of your mind. The aha is always on. We want to turn on the tap of the aha. We want you to be constantly in connection with your soul's insight. We want you to be constantly on the experience of bliss. We want you to have the opportunity to leave duality as a faded memory and to instead be in the place that has no opposite. The access point has been to deal with triggers, to become aware of your coping mechanisms, to process your core emotion. All of these things you've done. But the point you're at now is, what is true now? What is true now? What is true now? You need to have an answer to that question be your guiding force. What is true now? And if what is true now is answered by silly things like I'm bored, or I'm sad, or I'm happy, you need to require yourself to look deeper than that. That's the work of this. It's fairly easy to remember to say what is true now, but it's also very easy to be habitual about the answer you allow yourself to experience. What is true now is not answered by the mind. What is true now is answered by an aha from the soul. So by asking yourself what is true now constantly, you're creating a very strong connection between you and your soul. And that is always a fine thing if you're interested in transforming your life. What is true now is not answered by the mind. What is true now is seeking an aha. And the discipline to continue to ask yourself what is true now and to release the habitual mind-based response that has sufficed in the past is the key to the door that allows you access to bliss. You are at the brink of bliss. What is true now is the pathway. We invite you to envelop your life in the question, what is true now?
I'd like the Visionaries to know that I appreciate their intensity, and I really like the kick in the butt.
I second
Yeah, but is it not as fun to give an ass kicking when the ass kickies are expected? You want an ass kicking? You get to deliver an ass kicking now.
We didn't catch him by surprise, is that what it is?
Ass whooping ruined.
Well,
It didn't feel like a whooping tonight.
No, it was a little more, yeah, just a moment, let's just see if we can get any sort of response for that. We don't come in to kick your ass. We just end up kicking your ass when we come in. Good night.